Live from Orlando, Florida, you're listening to the Orlando Magic HQ podcast, the voice of Magic fans. Join us every week for a unique fan perspective on all of the latest Magic news and updates. The show starts now.
What's up, Magic fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Orlando Magic HQ podcast, brought to you by the Believe Podcast Network. We're your hosts, Al, myself, Anthony, and today we're taking mailbag questions. So this past week, we asked some of you to submit some questions that will be aired on the podcast, and we're really going to just jump right into it and answer some of these questions. So this very first one is coming from Preston T456, who asks, how do you think Paulo and Franz will develop next season? Personally, I think, man, that the next element of both of their games has to be the 3-point shooting. It's got to improve. Franz, I don't know what it was this past season, man. There's we saw towards the end of the season that there's a little bit of a hitch, a little bit of a delay in his shooting. His shooting form definitely changed. Obviously, if we've seen it, then the Magic brass, they've also seen it also. So I would imagine that during this offseason, it will be something that's looked at, and Franz is able to find something that's comfortable, because that is a little unorthodox and worrisome as well. His shooting has improved from last season. Last season was a really, really rough shooting season for Franz. He did improve, but the Magic are needing for both of them to take it up an additional level. When you're looking at Paolo, what is he able to do on the offensive end? Can he improve offensively for this team? This is somebody that even his agent Mike Miller has challenged him to be a 30-point per game type of player, and we know offensively he can do this. Like, it's easy for him. It's natural. It is effortless. We know that he can score the basketball. Can he find a way to get to a point where the game slows down even more for him? Can he do it in a way where it's more efficient? And if we really are truly sacrificing, defense for offense, can we improve defensively from them two as well, so that it balance out whatever it is that's leaving this team that would hurt us from a defensive standpoint?
Yeah, I think for me personally, talk about Paolo getting closer to that 30 points per game average. It's all about the free throws. He averaged 26 points a game this past season. Guess what? If he makes 2 to 3 more free throws a game, which he misses quite often, unfortunately, he's right there. So if he can work on that this offseason, get that free throw routine down, which he improved slightly after the All-Star break. He said he took the whole All-Star break to work on his free throws, and we saw an improvement there. So I wonder if with another offseason, under his belt, dedicating the time to it, he can improve there. If he can shoot 80 to 85% from the free throw line, that 30-point per game, target is really realistic. For Franz, like you mentioned, man, he kind of mentioned that the oblique injury, affected his shooting a little bit, the form. I don't know how much truth there was to that. But if he doesn't end up playing for Germany this offseason, which I'm really hoping that he doesn't, I want him to have a quiet offseason, work on his game, get the shooting, figured out. He averaged 24.2 points per game this season, career high for him. Can he get to 27? Can he get to 26 and a half? Having Paolo close to 30, having him at 26, man, that would be a special duo in the Eastern Conference to deal with for years to come. So to answer the question, I think that we'll see definitely upgrades from them on the offensive end next year. They'll be better. I really expect Paolo to be healthier, and I expect him to be an All-NBA player next year. And Franz, he will be a borderline All-Star next season, if not a locked in for the All-Star without Tatum in the East. So we may have 2 All-Stars for the first time in quite a while for the Orlando Magic next season with Paolo and Franz.
Yeah, that's got to be a huge focus for them, especially, Paolo making it in. Franz was looking for a moment like he was going to be a shoo-in as well. Injury, obviously kind of hurt his chances there, but a successful season for the Magic from a regular season standpoint, would be getting the two of them definitely into the All-Star game. This next question is coming from Timmy _ D Los Angeles. Thoughts about going all in on Booker, Devin Booker. So obviously a player that is on a team now where it's just not working for them, right? They made a finals appearance, and since then, new ownership brought in Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, and it just did not turn into what they were expecting, and they are spending a lot of money to lose. Did not make the play-in, obviously didn't make the postseason. It's time to blow that team up and blow it up quick. Phoenix Suns also, there's brand new allegations that just came out from their CEO today. It's a hot mess, literally a hot mess in Phoenix. When it comes to going all in on Devin Booker, is that something that you would entertain? Is that even feasible? You're the contract expert. Would that work?
Man, on a dream situation, that would be the ideal target for me for the Orlando Magic. You talk about Jalen Suggs, Devin Booker, Franz and Paolo, kind of building around those four guys for years to come. Now, if you do that, the problem is you got no money left. You're gonna have to have minimum contracts across the board playing with those guys. So I don't think it's realistic. But on paper, man, 29 years old, one of the best shooters in the NBA. Loved Orlando coming into the NBA. He wanted to be drafted by us. So he loved the city. It makes a ton of sense. Unfortunately, like I said, on a realistic level, I don't see how the Magic make it work. Now, can you make the salaries work? Can you make it, so the money works? You could trade, KCP, JI, a bunch of picks. You can get there money-wise. The problem is, again, the Suns are not going to let him go easy. They're going to want everything they can possibly get for him. I don't see the Magic being quite that desperate just yet to upgrade their roster to go in on a guy like Devin Booker. Again, on paper, personally, my dream target is Devin Booker, but realistically, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either. I think that just in general, we need to temper our expectations with who we think the Magic should go after. I think that Devin Booker is way out of our budget. So yeah, he would fit so many different needs. Upgrade at the shooting guard position. Can shoot lights out. Can easily take off the offensive pressure off of Paolo and Franz. Stretch the floor, everything that you need, but Devin Booker is way too expensive. I don't think we can add any player that's ever dated any level of Kardashians on this team. When you look at so the next one's coming from Chef _Raf 2.0. Would Tyus Jones and Simons be the best case scenario or go after a big?
I think Tyus Jones, Magic fans keep bringing up that name time and time again. It's kind of like Schroeder. They keep saying, go get him. Every single time he's available, go get him. And guess what we do? We don't get him. So I think the front office has decided they're not going to go after him. Like, it's just a guy that doesn't fit what we're trying to build, apparently, for whatever reason. So Tyus Jones, unfortunately, I don't see him coming to Orlando. The front office has had their chances to get him multiple times, and they haven't. Simons, on the other hand, Orlando kid, we saw him in the playoffs catching a Magic game. I think it was game 3 against the Celtics. He was in attendance for that game. So a lot of rumors came from that. Like, is he the guy that Magic are going to go after? I think he's the most likely target for a trade at this moment. So I definitely see Simons being a guy that we go after. In my perfect world, if we get him and then we upgrade Wendell Carter as well, that would be amazing. Like, that to me would be a huge win this offseason if we come in next season with Simons, whether it's at the point guard position, whether it is as a 6-man, and then a better big around Paolo, Franz, and the rest of the squad. But again, Tyus Jones is not a guy, in my opinion, that we'll go after. I think we'll figure out some other guys to bring in. I think we need some 2s and 3s, so shooting guards, small forwards off the bench that can shoot. Tyus, unfortunately, might be a bit too small for what our front office likes in their point guards.
Yeah, I think that when we talk about like players in our budget, Simons would fit into that category. He has 1 year left on his contract, on his 4-year $100 million contract. Then he becomes an unrestricted free agent in 26, 27. Hometown kid, so you would feel comfortable that he would stay with the Magic or sign an extension. The question is, like, what would Portland be willing to? What would they ask in return? Right? Would Cole Anthony and a filler work for them? Would Wendell and a filler work for them? It's and I've seen conversations from the other side, from the Portland fan base. For the most part, it's not really anything that they like, that they want. So this is a risk for Portland, as he would become an unrestricted free agent the following season. If they don't get rid of him now, then they would lose him to free agency. So obviously he's the odd man out in Portland, but yeah, man, definitely somebody that would fit not only our timeline, but he's coming off a really good season where he played 70 games for the first time since 2019, averaging 19.3 points a game in 32 minutes. Can shoot the basketball 36% from the 3-point line, and when you talk about a table setter, he's averaging 5 assists per game, and is somebody that can get it done. So I think from a realistic standpoint, he should definitely be a target for the Magic. My concerns with him is his history with injury. The Magic are a team that already struggles with staying healthy. And if you invest in a player like Anthony, is he going to be available? The best ability is availability. Last year, he only played 46 games. The year before that, 62. The year before that, 57. You can add elements to the reason why with Portland tanking. So maybe that's, inflated a little bit, but he has not had a healthy sheet in a long time, but definitely coming off of one of his healthiest seasons. So that at the very least is a high point for him. When it comes to picks 16 and 25, this one's coming from Clutch Tyler ZZZ. Who are we taking at the 16th and 25th pick?
Like I mentioned in the previous podcast, I don't think the Magic will use both of these picks. I think one or both are going to be traded in some sort of trade, either on draft day or before the draft. But let's assume that we keep one at the very least. The kid from Florida, man, that's my target right now. Walter Clayton Jr. I think he's a guy that brings to the table what we're looking for. He's kind of like a Cole Anthony was coming out of North Carolina, like a smaller guard, offensive-minded, 3-point shooter, won national championship. Again, local kid. I think it makes a ton of sense to give him a shot. In my opinion, he will be replacing, a guy like Corey Joseph as a third-string point guard coming in, just get some experience this year. If injuries happen, he steps in and gets some run. But no pressure. Just bring him to Orlando. Again, offensive-minded. You're talking about adding offense to this team. He fits. So he's really the one guy that I'm like kind of passionate about in this draft. Outside of him, I don't know much, to be honest with you. We no longer have to worry about the lottery, the draft. So in my opinion, I'm like, if we keep both picks, I have no idea who we want us. I want us to pick. Honestly, I think we're at a point where we don't need more young guys in this team. So my realistic outlook for the draft is we'll trade most of these picks. But if we do keep at least one of them, he's the guy that I'm looking for. What about you? What are your thoughts on both of these picks and what we should do with them?
Trade it all. Trade it all. I want nothing to do with this draft. Trade it. 16 and 25, and you have 2 second-round picks. Trade it. Don't keep any of it. The Magic need help, man, and we can't rely on a rookie to be able to do that for us right now. You take a look at a player like Tristan da Silva that I absolutely love. and you continue to develop him. That's your young guy. He's played a lot in the beginning of the season, and due to injury, and the minute that we got all our guys back, he obviously lost some time in the rotation. Allow for him to develop, and he's your rookie for next season. Don't draft anybody. But I agree, if you are going to keep the draft, and getting somebody with championship pedigree and Walter Clayton, and somebody that is a bucket. If you're going to bring in a new guy, sure, go for it.
Yeah, on the same page there. I will say real quick, the one thing I do expect is we'll use at least 1 second rounder. And again, that's just about money at that point. Cheap contract, roster, contract under control by the team for a few years. And if they cannot make the team, they can still be a two-way player. So I think that, or at least go to Osceola. So I think that's maybe more realistic, that we'll use the second round picks. But again, the first rounders, guaranteed contracts and all that, I think that, to your point, we trade those and we get immediate help in a vet, in an NBA seasoned player instead of a rookie.
Trade all of them. Best trade for the Magic in the offseason. This question comes from Josh AP __.
So best trade for the Magic in the offseason. So I'm guessing this is more like what's the dream trade that we'll be like hoping for the Magic. It's like a name that we've talked about plenty already in this podcast for a few months now, and that for me personally, I don't know if it's realistic or not, but for me personally, that'll be Trey Young. I ran it through ChatGPT, man. I'm in the AI world nowadays, so I say, hey, ChatGPT, what's a realistic trade where the Magic can land Trey Young from Atlanta? This is what they told me. So I'll give you 3 options. You tell me what you like best. The first one was we get Trey Young. The Hawks get Jalen Suggs, Wendell Carter, a first-round pick this year, and a pick swap next year. Maybe throw in Gary Harris. So basically pick up the option and send him as well, which the Hawks can either waive him or keep him for a year and then he expires. That's option 1. Option 2 is you get Trey Young. You send Anthony Black instead with Wendell Carter. By the way, Wendell Carter keeps coming up in the rumors here, but I find it kind of realistic because he is from Atlanta. I think he grew up a Hawks fan, so it makes a little sense with the front office how they like to, do good for the players and put them in good situations. So I kind of like that his name keeps coming up. So AB, Wendell, a first-round pick in 25, a first-round pick in 27, and a pick swap in 26. And once again, Gary Harris as a filler for salary purposes. That's the second option. The third one would be Trey Young to Orlando, Cole Anthony, Wendell Carter, Jet Howard going to the Hawks, along with some picks as well, and Gary Harris' salary being thrown in there as well.
Yeah, that's the one.
I know,
easy.
Right? So
option 3.
I personally think the realistic one out of all this, I personally think, is the AB one. I think with Jalen Suggs getting hurt last year, I think the Hawks might be like, we don't trust, that knee just yet. I don't know about that. But I think if you really call them with that offer, man, and say AB, Wendell Carter, 2 to 3 picks in there, and Gary Harris's salary to make that money work, I think they'll be intrigued. Will they trade him to a division rival, to the Orlando Magic? I think Trey Young would have to come out and say, hey, I want to go play in Orlando for that to happen, which I don't see why he wouldn't. So that would be my dream scenario. You trade AB, Wendell to the Hawks, along with the picks and stuff. That's realistic. That I think would work for both teams. But what about you? Out of those 3 scenarios, which one do you like best?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, man. The Magic aren't moving Jalen Suggs. I don't see in any way or capacity, especially after going through an injury. The Magic have been known to take care of their players, and Jalen Suggs just is not on the board. Jalen Suggs does everything that the Magic want their players to do: play defense, hit the 3 ball, good character on and off the floor. And Jalen Suggs, he's a dog. Now, question is, what type of dog are we getting after he heals from this injury, right? But the Magic are obviously financially invested into Jalen Suggs, and I just don't see them making that move. Anthony Black, you really don't know. Like I really can't tell how the front office really views Anthony Black, how the coaching staff really views Anthony Black. You know, you have injuries at the point guard position, and you're starting your third string point guard. An opportunity where you can give the keys to your somebody that is meant for that. Like, that's the reason why you drafted Anthony Black, 6'7" point guard. Like, man, that's what you dream of, man, for a team that's all about size and having that advantage against the opposing team. Is huge, but the Magic weren't willing to make that commitment to Anthony Black. So, in my opinion, if the Magic had to choose, Anthony Black is the bargaining chip that you could really use that a team would incline to make a move for. And if it's for a player like Trey Young, I don't care what your opinions are of Trey Young. I know Trey Young is a very polarized figure in the Magic community where a lot of people don't like Trey Young. But if you bring Trey Young to Orlando with Paulo and Franz and Jalen, dude, that's box office, man. And people look at the Magic differently. The floor is immediately stretched wide. And I'm sure that we're going to have so many moments, if he gets moved to Orlando, where he is taking crazy shots, and we're going to hate the crazy shots that he misses, but we're going to love the crazy shot that he makes. And he's somebody that is a floor general that is a playmaker and can shoot the ball. So, defense, he is definitely a player that you would sacrifice defense for offense for.
Talk about, we gotta sacrifice some defense for offense, right? That's a perfect description.
That's
you
exactly.
You trade AB and Wendell to get Trey Young. That's defense going out.
That's what that is. That's completely no defense. That's literally sacrificing defense for offense. Literally. If at opening night for the season, this one's coming from Yachty, from our Patreon. What's up, Yachty? If at opening night for the season 25-26, the Magic open with the same five as last year: Suggs, KCP, Franz, P5, and Wendell Carter Jr., and the bench has only one change, and is Gary Harris no longer on the Magic uniform, and instead of him is a rookie we draft with the 16th pick. I know other moves have to happen due to financial situations, so I know this is hypothetical. Is that a good offseason? If it isn't for you guys, what is a good offseason in your opinion?
No, that wouldn't be a good offseason, and I would be extremely pissed because, again, Jeff Waltman just sold us, right? On the exit interviews, he said, we're going to sacrifice defense for offense. Now, knowing Jeff, Gary Harris is a defender, right? So him just letting him go and picking up a rookie that can shoot the three, he might be like, well, we did do that. Like, I stuck to my plan. So I could see that world happening. But no, man, I think that the Magic need to do way more than that. It wouldn't be acceptable. The same starting five, I'm cool with. Like I said, we didn't see Suggs with his team, so I'm okay with running it back starting unit-wise. But you got to upgrade, again, like I said in the previous episode, you got to upgrade the point guard position off the bench. You got to add some scoring off the bench. So no, it wouldn't be acceptable. And like we talked about earlier, I think a perfect offseason would be fixing some of the weaknesses that we've had. So shooting, playmaking, athleticism. You got to find a way to make that happen. So again, we're not going to see, I truly don't believe we're going to see Cole Anthony back or J.I. or Goga. Like, there'll be some guys leaving the Magic. We know that. So that to me would be more of a realistic offseason. Seeing some guys that we unfortunately like a lot in this team not be here, but hopefully bring some guys in that will be new faces to us, but that will help us on the court immediately next season.
Yeah, every year the team looks different. There's always two or three players who are being added or change, or somebody leaving. This year we saw Joe Ingles, Markelle Fultz. You bring in Tristan Da Silva, you bring in Corey Joseph. So you're definitely expecting for there to be movements of some level. Unfortunately, Jeff Wellman came out and said that it's time to win now. Like he came out and said that it's time. There's pressure now on backing up what you say. This fan base will be on level 1000 if this man sits on his hands. It's impossible. Like, the safest bet right now is that a move is going to happen. We've been talking about this consolidation now for years. We've been talking about this consolidation. It's happening. So, what is a good offseason in your opinion? Magic need to find a table center, man. Bring in a point guard, one that can shoot. So address the point guard. Would love an upgrade at the center position, and bring me in a volume shooter. Not just somebody that can has a good percentage shooting just 2-3 3-pointers a game and then come to Orlando and
we need a guy that can shoot 6, 7, 10
score
off the bench.
Yeah. All right. This one's coming from our Patreon member, Andy. If you can add any Magic role player to this current roster to help the offense, who would it be? Role player.
Oh, wait. To make it more interesting, any past Magic role players. So would Rashard Lewis be considered a role player?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm going to keep it simple then, really quick into the point. JJ Redick. Give me a JJ Redick guy off the bench that, to your point just now, would come in and just shoot 5, 8 3-pointers a game and make 3 or 4 of them every night. That would be ideal with this roster right now. What about you?
Dwayne Dedman. No, I'm just kidding. Man, I feel like this season was like the season that we needed Terrence Ross. Like, this was the season that he was missed, man. I'm still a little. I get the reasons why, and I believe that was more on Terrence Ross's side more than anything, especially because he was playing with the Vooch, the Aaron Gordons, and the Evan Fournier. But man, Terrence Ross is so perfect for this roster. I hate the fact that he's retired now. From a vet standpoint, from defense to shooting, you miss having a player, because even with Terrence Ross, we were still a very bad 3-point shooting team, right? But he was one player that you felt confident in his shooting, and he didn't make every shot. I can't tell you off the top of my head what the percentage was, but man, when he got hot, man, and you need that level of player coming off the bench, someone that is just a straight microwave. You got the nickname Human Torch for a reason. He's definitely somebody that just quick off the mind, somebody that would not be mad at if they brought back.
I'll give you one more real quick. That'll be Marcin Gortat. Give me Marcin Gortat as a big man with this team right now, man, instead of Wendell Carter. I would love that.
Yeah. One of my it was very short-lived. Very, very short-lived, but one of my favorite reserves just in general. I really enjoyed the season that we had Matt Barnes on the team. I really did.
Oh, imagine him next to Mo Wagner and Jalen Suggs at the same time. Whew.
Yeah. So this one's coming, another one from Andy. This one is a non-Magic related question. Now with the off season, what's on your watch list for this off season? What shows are you catching up on?
Oh man, that's a good question. I'm looking for one. I think The Last of Us comes to mind. I've played the video game a little bit, so I know what the whole story is about. But I want to watch the show. I've heard great things about it. So that's one for sure. Outside of that, I'm doing my research. So I'm gonna start with that one and then keep searching, because I need some new shows right now. What about you? What are you watching currently, or what are you looking forward to watching this off season?
Yeah, so one of my wife and I, our favorite, one of our favorite shows was Suits. Suits was amazing. Yes. If you haven't seen Suits is an awesome TV show. It's on Netflix. Check it out. But they came with a spin-off. So instead of it being based in like New York, it's in LA, and the LA one is terrible. It's horrible. It's not good.
It got canceled already.
Yeah, it got canceled. What wasn't good. I tried watching 2 episodes, and that was it. So that was disappointing. So now I don't have any show. I think the plan is to start rewatching a show that we really enjoyed, which was the Last Kingdom. If you're into Vikings, if you're into swords and in that era, the Last Kingdom is an awesome TV show. If you like Game of Thrones, then you would definitely like the Last Kingdom.
That's got you written all over it, that show.
What's that?
That show has you written all over it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I'll rewatch it. Not only is the TV show amazing, but because the TV show did so well, they made a movie afterwards, and
nice.
It'll keep you entertained for a good amount of time. I think there was like 4 or 5 seasons. So if you don't have any TV shows to watch, you're not watching any, you like Viking stuff, The Last Kingdom. And then the last thing, this is more of a question that we asked on social media. Who should the Magic primary target be? And instead of asking, I'm just going to tell you what the most common answers are. So we kind of have like a whiteboard, a vision board, if you will. So most common answers were Anthony Simons, Trey Young, Devin Booker, Colin Sexton, Kobe White, and Walter Clayton Jr. So if you can choose one.
All names that we've already talked about today, right? So I guess we're in line with the fan base. We want a playmaker, we want a point guard, and we want a guy that can score the ball, right? Like it's so any of these names would make us better day one. But of course, there's levels to it, right? Devin Booker, a superstar, it will cost you a ton. Trey Young, very similar. Simon, Sexton, Kobe White, a little bit more, I think, realistic and attainable this offseason. Man, any of those guys, honestly, I can't pinpoint a guy. I think Trey Young will be the dream scenario. That the realistic option in my eyes is Trey Young. But that would be, again, and like if the Magic truly are going for it. If they're just looking to kind of build around what they already have roster-wise, I think Simons is a more realistic option, or maybe even Kobe White. But he did so well with the Bulls, man. After all the trades and stuff, I don't see him being traded this offseason. And Sexton, I don't know what it is, man. He doesn't convince me. He's a great player. He kills us whenever we play him. But I don't think he's enough to take the Magic to the next level. Like, I don't think him by himself coming to Orlando is like the upgrade that we make this offseason. So, dream scenario, Trey Young for me. Realistic, ideal, Simons.
Yeah, and if the Magic try to do all the above and they just crash out and fail, and the only thing we can do is draft Walter Clayton Jr., then, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'll add one more thing too. The Celtics got to blow it up. They have way too much salary. They have a lot going on this offseason. They have to make some moves. Do you call the Celtics and say, hey, is Derek White available? He will be a guy that can teach the ways to Jalen Suggs in his career. A great three-point shooter, a great defender. Drew Holiday is another guy out there that you can say, hey, yeah, you're trading him. One more. Porzingis. Yep.
Upgrade window.
Is he available? So the Celtics, a team that I would keep my eyes on and say, hey, what are you guys doing? Can we help you guys out a little bit? Let's help each other out here. Some interesting names on that team that might be available. Jaylen Brown, are they done with him? He's injured right now. Do they want to get rid of him? You're talking about going for it. He makes a lot of money, though. I don't see it happening. But the Celtics, keep an eye on that, too.
Oh, man. Poor Porzingis and Paolo. Oof. Offensively? It's rough. All right, man. That's a wrap for us, man. I appreciate everyone that submitted those questions. Look out for the next mailbag. We enjoy asking these questions because it gives you guys an opportunity to be on the podcast with us, man. So I appreciate the engagement and the support. On that note, it's a wrap. I appreciate everyone for listening, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
For all the latest Magic news and updates, visit OrlandoMagicHQ.com and follow us on Instagram at Orlando Magic HQ and on Twitter at OMagicHQ. Also, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and subscribe and leave a 5-star review on your favorite listening platform.